Hello and welcome back to Man v Film. This is a bit of a different video. I am going to be looking at the Arrow player. I've had it for a couple of weeks just to kind of test it out. I'm going to be building up a watch list talking about what I like and what I don't like about the service so far. So let's just dive into the services we have. So up the top, we've got usually a bunch of things that they've got going on. Big Katano stuff at the moment. Initial things is we just have a browse function, which just takes you to this page. Now, this is the biggest bugbear I have about the Arrow player. I want an A to Z listing where I can look through things. There's things on here that you really have to dig to discover, and it becomes a little bit frustrating. We've got Arrow Essentials here, Arrow Stories, which are Blu-ray extras so far. We'll go and have a look at some of them. So there we go. We get the extras that are on the discs, which really feels as if they're pushing the disc content away when you're able to get to it here. But I won't go through that just now. That's something I would go into after checking out a movie and maybe liking it. Now, some great movies here. The Vineyard is wonderful. Do I use this as a shortcut to rather than pulling out a disc? Is that just cheating? I've not seen Children of the Corn for a while, so I'm going to add that to the list. I have discs and I would like to see things, but should I watch the disc or should I watch here? So they do have like a chunk of their stuff on here. Some of it just looks, I guess the covers, just looking through the covers is just wonderful. But there is a lot of titles here that I want to see. If there's anything I'm missing out or something I should be adding to my watch list, then let me know in the comments. I will tell you that I've got it in disc or that it's something I've already seen one way or another in the aftermath. Possibly curious about that. Slugs I love. Burst City is another one. So my watch list was empty. I did have a look through the service and I was choosing movies to watch, but I want to go and actually build that list. Addition I've been meaning to watch for a while. I've had the conversation before. I've got the the steel book that I just can't open. Oh, I don't know why. Graveyard of Honor, yes. Or Terraformers, I wanted to see for a while. I've heard horrible things. People have told me about these movies. You can let me know whether any of them are particularly great or worth checking out. Tetsuo Body Hammer 2 will add. And the other Graveyards of Honor. Okay. Already I'm building up quite a list now. Essential Westerns. Yes. Ringo, I've got The Grand Jewel I watched on the Arrow channel already. Loved it. I'm going to be buying the disc of that next. These ones are 3 I'm curious about. Let's just say that. Let's see what else they've got up in this first column. Yakuza, Sick Laughs. Let's have a look at that. Gwilliam is utterly bonkers. I'd like to revisit Harpoon, so I'm going to add that. Mega Time Squad is hilarious. If you haven't seen it, it's a whole bunch of fun, as is Lake Michigan Monster. Did I add Jake Speed? I did. Reform. Yeah, like that. I always talk about Dave Made a Maze I think it's extremely creative. It's really fun and an oddball movie, and one I recommend. I'm going to watch it again, actually. I need to buy the disc of that. Satanic Panic is pretty fun as well. A great kind of very comedic satanic movie. Well worth checking out. Zombies for Sale, I want to see. And of course, the Jack Hull, the Swinging Cheerleaders. I haven't seen that before. So there's lots of things on here already that I've built up much of a list about. The Guyver is. I should have seen it by now. I haven't. I'm curious about this Bullet Ballet. So if you know anything about it, let me know. Let's see what else we've got. Addiction. I'm going to add that. I'm not too sure. No. So 70s is my kind of time, so I'm assuming I've seen most of these. Sleeping Dogs, I don't know. The Grand Buffet. Possibly. Let's see what else we have. The Loneliness, Tenderness of the Wolves. No. Death Walks Away. The Fifth Chord I just reviewed. I found that to be utterly amazing. A great giallo. A lot of these I've either seen or I've got the disc. I've not watched as yet. I'd much rather watch the disc than watch it in a streaming service. But if you're a narrow fan like myself, this is a quick and easy way to get a hold of a lot of these movies. I'm looking up to travelling around Scotland come the summer, and this is a service that I will definitely be taking advantage of then. Let's check the essentials. See what we have here. The Dark Yes, but Rick. These are all the big hitters of movies. I don't see Offspring. I wonder if that's hidden somewhere. I was curious about the Bloodhound, so again, let me know if you've seen it. Slashers. Yeah, I think I've seen most of them. Not a great range of slashers. Arrow thrillers, okay. Some interesting ones here. Do you know what? I need to revisit Barbarian Sound Studio. Empathy Inc. was one I was curious about. No, I don't know if I want to see Crash. Black Rainbow. Okay, Cold Light of Day. Absolutely. These ones were being championed on a couple of live streams, so I am in the possessed. These are ones that I am very interested in. And back to the start. So these are a lot of third window films. Mirror, Mirror. Yes, please. That sounds like my kind of thing. We've got the G Yankee movies. Juicy Joints, where they kind of break down and give you some wackier movies. I watched a lot of Jim Cummings on this, which was really great. I had a look at the 80s documentaries, which are always interesting. Let's have a look at all them. El Duce Tapes is well worth a watch. Clapboard Jungle, I want to see as a future stock. That guy, Dick Miller. Let's go into Giallo, because that's all classics. Don't Torture a Duckling and Deep Red are two absolute must watch. Double Face I almost bought in the Arrow sale, so I'm curious about that. Crystal Eyes was a pretty decent one I watched recently. And there we go. That's some nice giallos on there, some classics. Not very many deep cuts, but interesting enough. Let's have a look at Academy Classics. I've never seen Cinema Paradiso. 13 Assassins is amazing. The Hunt is amazing as well. Well, we've got all the recent Imamuras on there. So that's interesting. Something I'll definitely have a look at some point. It's nice to see they've still got the Academy filter here. Smash Place, I'm sure someone recommended that to me. With the Human Condition trilogy on there, that's great. Yeah, it's lots. It actually does have quite a lot on it. Takeshi Miike, which I think I've already picked out the ones I haven't seen that I need to. We've got the Arrow box set, so you can get the Hellraiser, Gabara set that was out, Phantasm, the films of Lars von Trier, which ones? Let's see what's in that. Do you know, I quite fancy going back and watching that. I really enjoyed The House That Jack Built, Herschel Gordon Lewis, we've got the film noirs, Kovlovsky. This was the Jim Cummings collection. I really like Cummings. I think he's great. I watched all of these shorts a while back, and they were all kind of fun, 10 to 15 minutes kind of things. 70s we went through, Sick Laughs we went through, thrillers. See, it seems to be repeating itself almost. Love to Death, Necromantic. Toys Are Not for Children. Let's have that. Tokyo Fist. There's 3 of the Jodorowsky movies on there as well. Films of Miko Kaji. Yeah, I've got the box sets of those. New Cult, which is kind of interesting. Some of the new releases that Arrow have done. Dave Made a Maze, I think, is the standout for me. Agazusa, I'd like to watch. Gamera, Asia Extreme. So even got the He Came From the Swamp collection. Let's see what Edgar Wright selects. What Have You Done to Solange? Blood and Black Lace. Schlock I watched, I didn't like. That's fairly decent. I like this. Short films under 75 minutes. Quite often I'm looking for something like that, so yeah, some of these are shorts. Only some are features. The top 20 of 2020. So there is a Scary Movie. What was that? I think I'll add that to the list. Essential Westerns we've already been through, and then trailers. So I've kind of scrolled all the way to the bottom and went through all their titles, right? And this is something I found because there was things I was looking for. There's the Invisible Man's movies that I wanted to check out. But you need to know roughly what you're looking for. if it's a specific title, that doesn't show up in any of their filters, which is kind of weird, which is why I really think it's missing an A to Z. If you're starting out in Arrow and you're looking at the wealth of movies they've put out and you don't know what to pick up, this, I think, is actually really good. You can jump in there and just check out a lot of the Arrow stuff, and I think it is exciting and fun, and something that I'm 2 weeks into my trial. I think I've watched 7 or 8 movies so far. It's something I'm going to take advantage of. That's not including all the shorts that I watched, which I watched a good dozen or so of them. There's movies on here that I want to see. There's movies I want to see before I buy. And even looking at what's coming out in May, there's some titles there that I would have bought in Blu-ray if they were a little bit cheaper. That they're not. I'm going to check them out on the Arrow Player and possibly earmark them for a sale purchase later. Bloody Birthday isn't on the UK Arrow Player, but I use a VPN, so I was watching it on the American Arrow Player. If you're at all curious, let me know. I can jump onto different markets and we can have a look to see if there's anything different on there. But that's something to let me know in the comment box. Do you have the Arrow Player? Are you curious about getting it? Are you sticking solely on physical media? I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.